It's 3 o'clock, and to be respectful of everyone's time, we're going to go ahead and get started. So good afternoon, everyone. And on behalf of the CSTK team, welcome to our seminar on delivery solutions. My name is Alan Lane. I'm the general manager. And before we get started, a couple of notes. Today's session is being taped and will be posted on our website for viewing at a later time with answers to questions that may come up from customers. There's a chat room for asking questions, as well as we'll have a Q&A at the end of the session. Next slide, please. Investing in the future starts today. The customer base is changing, with 70% of today's customer being between the ages of 21 and 36. And most of them are ordering online from their phones. Analysts are predicting that the growth will be more than 220 billion by 2025. And about 40% of a restaurant's revenue will come from delivery charges. Restaurants that manage the delivery process versus other companies using like Uber or Grubhub should see increase in their profitability and control the customer's experience by controlling the delivery process. Proper temperature management ensures a better customer experience of your food quality. Not only does proper temperature management ensure a better customer experience by preserving the food's quality, it also protects your customer from health by keeping food fresh and uncontaminated. Next slide. For years, we've seen the use of coolers and insulated bags or nothing at all. But today's younger generation consumer is more about fresh and healthy products. Next slide. Today's presentation is about 3 different options based upon your needs that CSTK has to offer you. Container, a portable product that has dual voltages, battery or house power, portable or movable, or installed into your vehicle. A catering model that offers hot and cold, or a refrigerated and frozen models as well. Then there's Thermo King, which offers a complete lineup of cooling and heating units for the trucks and van solutions, just about any application that's out there. And lastly, it's our Co-Ride rental product line, which offers flexible rental rates for you. Next slide. Our presenters today are Terry Kerner, the general manager from Container USA. He's going to walk us through the Container product. Steve Castle from Thermo King Corporation, our district sales manager. He's going to talk about the full complete lineup of Thermo King vehicle-powered units. And Paul Kyle, our sales manager here at CSTK, he will round out the conclusion talking about Co-Ride rentals. Next slide. Terry, if you could, let's learn a little bit about Container.
Thanks, Alan. I appreciate the introduction and appreciate everybody who has dialed in or to view the webcast and the call this afternoon. I do think Container offers a really good solution for a certain part of your business, and I'll spend a few minutes talking about our different products. Next slide, please. I think you guys probably more than anybody know that 2020 was certainly a year of change with the coronavirus and restaurants working at partial capacity depending upon what geographic area you're located in, your occupancy levels fluctuating, the increase in home delivery, takeout, and curbside. Many of these changes are probably also here to stay, and this is where I think Container can help you succeed in both managing the quality of your food as well as adapting to some of the new processes that seem to be here for good. Next slide. When you look at Container, there's really the market opportunities are almost endless, but food delivery, catering, summer festivals, getting a product out where you have limited electrical capacity, meat packers or local deliverers, wedding catering, sporting events. We have a couple units that are currently running in the St. Louis Blues kitchen with Levy Food Service. Also, we got a couple units that have gone into the new LA Raiders Stadium out in Las Vegas. And smart startup small food distributors are all prime places where a Container would fit, and you get a good view of what would be our 720 box sitting in a van Fills the box, gives you good cold or frozen capacity, and at the same time leaves you a little bit of room to put other dry items in the vehicle. Next slide. We really have two different types of cold containers. The first one is our frozen and refrigerated line, and I'll talk a little bit about that first. And the second is our heated food line, which I'll talk about on the next slide. But the cold container, refrigerator, and freezer family comes really in front loading and top loading models. The top loaders are kind of like a Yeti on steroids, going from about 1 to 3 cubic feet. The front loaders actually go from about 5 to 32 cubic feet. And then we also do have another line of products called cargo units. If you've got the height, up to 90 inches to be able to handle something going as high as 64 cubic feet. But the refrigerators run down to 32 degrees. The freezers run down to below 0. A couple models getting down to -20 and -30. Heating can be added to the units for freeze protection as an option. So if you're running, produce in Chicago in the wintertime, you may want to add heating to it so your produce will stay above the freezing temperature. The units run off a 12-volt power normally as a standard power supply, off the alternator circuit of the vehicle. They also are capable of being plugged into 110-volt standard wall outlets. So you can run them during the day with your vehicle, plug them in at night, and store food in them while you're back at your depot. We do have a line that is called autonomous, and where these are a little different is they run off of an onboard battery, and then you charge the battery up at night. So with an autonomous unit, you could actually take it out to a fair or someplace where you didn't have the capability of getting to electricity, operate that unit for 12 hours, and then that night go back and plug it back in and recharge that battery set. So there's a variety of different electrical options, and cold containers are easily loadable and unloadable in standard vehicles. Next slide. The next product family I'll talk a little bit about is our hot meals line, or our heated product line. And there are a lot of similarities to our cold line, except in this case, the product is using ceramic heaters and holds hot food from between 149 and 185 degrees Fahrenheit. So, you cook your food, it comes out perfect out of your ovens, and you want to maintain that food safe temperature of say 150 degrees. You put it in the hot meals line of products, and it will maintain that temperature, up to 12 hours until you need to plug those units back in again. The hot meals line comes in 2 sizes. A 5 cubic foot or an 11.5 cubic foot model. Again, we've got models in this case from an electrical standpoint that plug into a standard wall outlet and run off the battery of the vehicle, and also the autonomous line where they're running off the onboard battery for the cold container. The other thing that we have with both the refrigerated and frozen products is a variety of options. In the case of the heated line, pan racks, unit trolleys, and things that allow you to carry your food in the manner that you need to carry it. Next slide. This just kind of gives you a breakdown or an overview look at the box. Some of the things I'll point out is the box is a rotomolded polyethylene, really durable box with, depending on the unit, up to 5 inches of insulation. So really solid, and also loses heat very slowly. You've got on the front the digital temperature controller that controls the refrigeration in the unit. On the back, you can't really see it, but you have the AC/DC power supply that allows you to also plug into a standard wall outlet. You've got grooves in the box, which help with the structural rigidity of the box, but also allow you to slide shelves and pans and different accessories into the box, for use with regard to how you're wanting to move your food. So it's a really solid box, and I think you get a pretty good picture of how it's built in this slide. Next slide. Next slide. Yeah, thank you. As far as the benefits for your business, why would you be interested in a cold container? Well, I've talked about a few of these things, but the design is robust and it's built for long life. With the rotomolded polyethylene shell and the urethane insulated design, it's made to last for 8 to 10 years under normal operation with very little, well, no normal maintenance, but very little repair. It's easily cleanable inside and out. When the box is rotomolded, the manufacturer takes into consideration food safety standards, so you can really will just wash the box out with a hose and standard mild soap. You can view the temperature. If you look at the picture, you can see the controller on the front. You can view the temperatures and status without opening the door, and also we have a visible user interface that can be downloaded with your phone. So going to that last bullet, we have an optional smartphone application that allows you to use your phone as a driver display, but it also actually records temperatures. So if your customer says, I want to see how the temperature was maintained while you were bringing my product, you can download those temperatures and send them a readout of how the temperature was maintained. Next slide. Some additional benefits is really no vehicle modifications are required. The product installs in under 3 hours, and the cost is roughly a third of a like a vehicle powered unit and an installation kit. And certainly, we as CSTK, we sell the vehicle powered product from Thermo King. It's a great product, but if you don't need that much capacity, this is a very nice lower cost option. The operating costs of a cold container are about 40% less than that vehicle powered alternative. And it also is 43% less with regard to lower emissions. So it's a really nice green solution. As far as flexibility, if your vehicle gets damaged, it's pretty simple to transfer the box to another vehicle. The wall outlet, which I've discussed, allows you to maintain your product overnight without operating the vehicle. And the other thing I will mention is if you're going with a multi-temp application with a vehicle powered unit, you can use the vehicle powered unit as the refrigeration compartment, and you can add a cold container, which is a very, very simple way of creating a multi-temperature environment. So it's very flexible, and the return on investment is very high for you as the user. Next slide. Just a quick case study. One of our customers, Krasinski Meats, which is up in Ohio, actually John inherited his father's company, and they had heavy older vehicles, and they were burning a lot of fuel delivering their food. So he decided to switch to vans and cold containers, and he was able to substantially reduce his usage of fuel, as well as was able to run down different roads that he couldn't with the older vehicles that he had, and he's a good example of how if you don't need that whole capacity of the vehicle, the cold container is a great alternative. Next slide. I will read this out. I usually don't read slides, but I will read John's comment. We couldn't be happier with our decision to invest in a cold container. It's the perfect size for the number of deliveries we make per day. It's quiet, it's very reliable, it's lightweight and fuel efficient. And we're not limited to driving on the main road like we were with the trucks. So it was a great fit for John, and this certainly could be a great fit for you as well. Next slide. We think as a cold container as an option with regard to helping with your restaurant and catering businesses. We offer a product that can fit in your repertoire of food safety delivery products, and would love the chance to talk to you a little bit further about that. Next slide. Again, my name is Terry Kerner. This is my contact information. And if you have an interest in cold container, I would love to talk to you about your application and how we may be able to make that work. Next slide. With that, I'm going to hand the presentation over to Steve Castle, who is our Thermo King dealer rep.
Thank you, Terry. And as you said, I very much appreciate the opportunity to speak to the group today. And on behalf of Thermo King, thank you for your diligence during a trying 2020, obviously in the business that you're in. What I want to talk with you a little bit about today is a little bit more of a permanent solution. If you're in a position to migrate from a temporary solution or a smaller solution to a full-size truck, Thermo King offers vehicle power solutions that we like to show you, tell you a little bit about, and show you some examples to see if this might suit your delivery needs. Next, please. A little bit about Thermo King. We have actually invented the transport refrigeration business, if you will. We've been around for 80 years. We offer products all the way up from the Class 8 vehicle you can see in the top left-hand corner. You may see our products on some of the larger trucks that deliver to your restaurants and your business. We also provide a smaller or medium, light and medium duty truck refrigeration capabilities in the bottom left-hand corner. All the way over to the bottom right-hand corner, we also offer up container units, which can be used in overseas cargo transportation or on the rail. So we've developed a full line of refrigerated products that that we would like to show you at some point if that fits the need that you have. Next, please. One thing we do understand is that there's a variety of businesses represented on this call today, and we know you also carry a variety of products in many instances, and that not only do you carry a variety at one time, but you get a change from day to day. So as you can see, some of the products that are in this visual require different temperature ranges and different types of storage and or delivery temperatures. So what we want to show you is a line of products that can meet all of those needs. Next, please. When we talk about vehicle power truck units, we offer products all the way from what's considered Class 1 to Class 4, which would probably suit most of the needs represented on the call today. Class 1 being 6,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating and below, and then the Class 2 at 6,000 to 10,000 pounds gross vehicle weight, and then the Class 3 and 4 would be 10,000 to 16,000 pounds. So you can see a variety of vehicle sizes, and therefore a variety of compartments that need to be temperature controlled, and in turn a variety of equipment that we can offer to make sure that you're maintaining your product at the perfect temperature. Next, please. So when we're talking about a vehicle powered truck, one thing that we want to discuss with you is the importance of speccing the equipment properly. So when we talk about a box or a compartment, we're talking about the interior storage size on the truck that you may be using or about to use. And so it's important in today's world that with temperature control, whether it's hot, cold, or frozen, it's important to have an insulation package that maintains that temperature. It's no different than insulation in your home for your HVAC system. The better the insulation package, the more exact the temperature control can be. So it's important when you're thinking about speccing a vehicle perhaps for the first time, or changing the size of vehicle that you already have to a different size, that you specify adequate insulation for temperature to protect the temperature inside and against the ambient temperatures outside. Also, getting a better insulated box results in better temperature control, reduced runtime, and longevity. And longevity being longevity of the temperature control unit, the Thermo King unit. So correctly specifying the unit for your application, we have at Thermo King and at CSTK, who's our local representative, dealer representative for Thermo King products, we have a selection guide that's used to put together an equation of exactly how you're going to use this vehicle to come up with the right specifications and therefore the right application. And it's also highly recommended that you have it installed by a qualified technician through a Thermo King dealer, and in this case, again, CSTK there in the St. Louis market. Having your refrigeration unit installed by a Thermo King dealer ensures you get the best performance and reliability out of that unit. Next, please. We also know you may have multiple needs. It may be one need today and another need later, or you may have multiple needs today where different temperatures are needed for every delivery or application that you use it for. Thermo King offers products that can control single temperatures in that compartment or multiple temperatures in that compartment, such as frozen and what we call fresh, which is cooling. Next, please. I won't go through these slides in great detail, but I think it's important to point out that variety of product that we offer. The first product I want to show you is what we call the B100, and it's an electric refrigeration unit. But most importantly, the last two bullet points there is the fact that this unit is typically used on vans with a 6-foot to 8-foot refrigerated compartment, and typically used for fresh set points. This is a unit that you don't need to have frozen, and would be one of the lighter duty units that we have. Next, please. Moving a step up from there is the V220, and this is an engine-driven compressor unit that it runs off of the engine and the compressor on in the engine compartment. It's also available with optional smart power electric standby. So if you did have electrical capability where you're making your deliveries and needed to be there for a while, you could plug this in instead of running it off of the engine and burning fossil fuel. So again, this one is typically used on vans with 6-foot to 8-foot refrigerated compartment, but this one should be used for set points above 25 degrees. So you could hover around the freezing range and above. Next, please. The V220 Max takes it another, it's basically the same unit, but what it does now is gives you additional cooling capacity down to 20 degrees below Fahrenheit. So this would be one you could use for many temperature ranges, but could also hold temperature down to a -20. Next, please. And then our newest product that we've just released in March, and it's an E200, and this is an all-electric solution, but more robust than the B100 that we talked about earlier. It's designed for both engine-powered and electric vehicles supporting sustainability efforts. The home delivery and last mile needs in today's world are becoming more stringent, such as low noise levels. And in some areas you may deliver, there could be noise constraints, such as hospital areas or highly densely populated areas where noise is a concern on a normal fuel generated refrigeration unit. This unit runs at below 60 decibels. It's improved temperature recovery from door openings due to higher capacity at idle. So as opposed to the B100, this has better cooling capacity, but also can cool down faster. For those of you that may make multiple deliveries and open the door or doors multiple times, It improves temperature recovery from door openings due to higher capacity at idle and low speeds. So it's 50% faster pull down and recovery, what we call pull down to the desired temperature. And it's also lower weight. It's about approximately 60 pounds less than the V220 we talked about a moment ago. So we've got a full range of products, and this is our newest and greenest product that we just released. Next, please. I spoke a moment ago about an application guide, and I know this is a bit of a busy slide, but I want to make sure you understand that when developing a permanent solution, as opposed to a temporary or a portable solution, when you're developing something along those lines, it's very important to get the specifications correct for not only the vehicle, but for the application you're going to be using it for. The guide I mentioned earlier is shown on the left. It's a guide that's available through CSTK that you could sit down with them and go through what your application is, what your temperature you're trying to hold, how many door openings, what size compartment you're going to try to temperature control, all of the things in the equation that we can help as the experts make sure that you get the right equipment for the right application. So other than that, I think we can go to the next slide. Here is a reference for G&W Bavarian sausages, and it's a company that's known for their high quality products served around the dinner table and family gatherings. This is a sausage provider, a meat provider that is well known in the St. Louis market, as I said, and they're found on the menus of many St. Louis restaurants. Even many of you may make their acquaintance with some of the products that they offer. And you can see on their particular delivery vehicle here, you can see one of the V200 series on top. The products sold at many festivals and local attractions such as Grant's Farm and Gus's Pretzels. So these are actually applications that are out and working in your marketplace. Next, please. Mike Capizzi makes a comment here about his experience with the Thermo King refrigeration temperature control units. But I think most important is what you'll find there in the center of that quote. When delivering specialty meats like we do, it's absolutely critical to have the product stored at the right temperature, not just for the flavor of the meat, but for the safety and well-being of the customer as well. I know my business is in good hands with the folks at CSTK, and he's grateful for one less thing to worry about. So obviously a positive experience there, and we think you'll have one as well. Next, please. So with that, Paul Kyle is as Alan mentioned earlier, Paul Kyle is the sales manager at CSTK in St. Louis, and they are our authorized local Thermo King dealer. And Paul has the application guide. He has the brochures and the specifications to help you when you want to sit down and spec out the right vehicle for your needs. Sit down and spec that out properly. And they also do the installation, provide the product. So a full service offering from CSTK. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Paul, and he'll talk to you a little bit about some temporary solutions that CSTK offers.
Thanks, Steve. I appreciate it. And thank you, everybody, for joining us today. I'm going to be talking to you about our Cool Ride rental fleet that we have here in St. Louis. Next slide, please. We offer, especially what you guys have been going through last year and partly this year, we want to help you ramp up and get back to the new normal. So with that, I think Cool Ride Rentals will be a solution that can flex with your business as it goes back and forth. This is a great application. There's very flexible solutions, flexible amount of time, and also the what we have to offer. Next slide, please. We offer a Cool Ride Rentals. This would be for, hey, if you're having a big event at your restaurant, or you're catering an event, or you're just doing a big festival someplace, this would be what you would need to do. I mean, we have many different applications for to flex with your business. Next slide. One of them is our fresh trailer storage. This is, 25 to 60 degrees. It plugs into a wall outlet. It's ground level access, and also it's secure access. So if you have to put something in there, like liquor or beer or something, you want to keep it safe, this would be a good solution for you. We also have interior lighting, so if you're holding an event like at a concert at night, you could still see inside the trailer with interior light. This particular customer right here is Angry Beaver. They rented from us last year, and actually they're renting currently right now from us for an event, or actually a baseball event over the weekend. Next slide. This is our rates for our fresh trailers. So we have daily, we have weekend, weekly, and monthly. So this would be a great application for you. So we're flexible on how you can rent it too. Next slide, please. Same thing with our diesel operated. This is actually even more flexible for you because you don't have to plug it in anywhere. This will get down, this will maintain the temperatures between 20 below zero and 80 degrees above zero. So it's diesel powered, don't have to worry about an outlet or anything. Same thing, ground level access, secure access. And it also protects things from freezing also. Next slide, please. So we also have the same thing for the diesel operated units, or the really cold units. They're same thing, daily, weekly, weekend, monthly. So again, we have the flexible, time period of what you need. Next slide, please. We also have refrigerated vans to rent. This is for your final mile delivery. This is for if you just need a delivery, or let's say you have an event coming up and you want to be able to deliver food. I know during the height of the pandemic, we were renting a lot of these out to local charities to do food delivery to people that were in need. This ranged from 25 to 60 degrees. So again, another flexible solution for you and your business. Next slide, please. We also have here, again, we have flexible ways you can rent. You can do it daily, weekend, weekly, and monthly. Next slide, please. We also rent cold containers, like what Terry was explaining before. We have a variety of cold containers for rent. So if you have an event where, hey, you need to get something out there, you can pick this up with your van or your pickup truck, or we can deliver it. It's another flexible way that we can flex with your business and help you guys get back up and running. So again, we have daily, weekend, weekly, and monthly rental rates. Next slide. One of the businesses here in St. Louis that has grown actually during the pandemic is Clementine's. They started off actually renting from us, then they bought from us, and they rented from us again as their business kept on growing. So, and they bought from us again. So we've actually got 2 units out there that they're running. One is a very large cold storage trailer for their frozen ice cream. The other one is for their raw materials to make the ice cream. So it's at a fresh level of storage. So this is another way of how we're helping them out to grow their business, and they are growing. Next slide. This is a just kind of like what I just told you. They're currently running a 53-foot trailer and a smaller 12-foot electric trailer. And we also sold them a T590, which is a truck mounted unit to do their frozen deliveries to their stores and also to their events. Next slide, please. So whatever your needs are, we pretty much have you covered on the rental side of it. If it's a van all the way up to a 53-foot trailer, we have everything in between. So we can flex with your business as you guys get back in the groove of putting on events or flexing up with some events and our festivals or whatever you're doing. One thing I also wanted to do, I don't know if you can see in the upper right-hand side of the screen, there is little key rings at the top that you can hang your banners on too for your own advertising. Next slide, please. So please give me a call. You can go to either cstk.com or you can email stlrentals@cstk.com, or you can give me a call. I'd be more than happy to help you out. Next slide, please. Or any questions that anybody has at this point in time.
We had a question come in from the chat room earlier about, will this presentation be available for everybody later, including the slides? And the answer is yes. We will be posting a link. It'll have all the presentations to all the presenters and for all the attendees.
Great. Any more questions? I think there's another question in the chat. Nope, I guess not. Well, if there isn't any questions, please let us know how we can help you. Hopefully this presentation was informative, and let us know if we can help you out in any way.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thanks.